Hey everybody, it's Todd here. We have a special guest, Ian Lawrence, today, and Mr. Model Builder. I don't even know how to say it. He's pretty damn good. If you don't know him, you're getting ready to know him. So join me, and I'm going to introduce Mr. Ian himself. All right, let me get the right screen going here.
Yeah.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
All right, Todd. Yourself, my friend.
I'm hanging in there. It's one more day of Todd's Corner, which is a good thing because I love doing this thing.
Oh, that much I know.
All right, and bring on my co-partner, Mr. Gordon Moriguchi. Dar he be.
How's it going, folks?
All good, Gordon.
Some reason when I had you guys in the waiting room and I was going live, it kept telling me looks like one of them didn't go live. I think it's Props and Ships Trek. I don't understand. This thing drives me crazy sometimes. But anyway, I'll post the video there later. So looks like we've got quite a bit of people. I see 45, almost 40, 48 already. So a lot of people know Ian, of course.
Sorry about that.
It's a good thing or a bad thing, one way or another.
Yeah.
So you and I have talked in the past about your building, your models and everything. And I know that it's your bread and butter. That's how you make a living.
Yep.
And just for the audience, why don't you tell them how you got started into this?
Okay. I suppose the easiest way to put it with the start of it, first started when I was 8 years old. I'm almost 58 now. When my father gave me my first plastic kit to build, after literally, sort of like tossing it to me when he came walking in the door from work. So it was, what do I do with this? You put it together, I was told, and handed me a tube of glue. That is where it all started. Forget the decals, forget paintwork. I hadn't got anywhere near that far. I was only just beyond crayons. So it was done. And at that point, I realised, cool, I can make my own toys. So, which I must admit I had been doing, because any time they came home with the shopping, any cardboard boxes it was in, they were mine. My G.I. Joes had fortresses and who knows what built out of those things. But anyway, after a long time doing that, I would say it was probably almost 30 years ago now, when at an exhibition and somebody stepped up, I'd done a few commission jobs at that point, and said, does anybody here build models? So nobody else moved. I think they were all frightened. So I said, well, yes, I've done a couple. But that's where it all started, I would say, in the professional side of things. And it just kept on going since then. And pretty much for, knocking on the door of 30 years, it hasn't really stopped.
That's good.
When did you start getting into your a little bit more detailing from the paints and the weathering and things of that nature? I know that probably came a little bit later.
Yeah, I would say that was probably during teenage years, if you want to call it that, when a lot of magazines were floating around. Some of the best stuff that I picked up was any books that were written by Shepard Payne, Murder and Model and Diorama fella. Absolutely brilliant. Picked up no end of tips from that guy. I believe he used to be a regular contributor to Fine Scale Modeler as well back in the day.
Nice.
But when it went from there, reading those books, and also just a case of, that doesn't look too difficult. I'll give that a try. Okay, granted, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But as with everything, if you blow it completely, you learn something. If you succeed, you learn something. So from there, with my usual bloody mindedness of I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll give it a try. That's where it's come from. And not to say that I haven't picked up tips from anybody else, because I have. And for all those that freely gave to the community, whether they know me or not, thank you. Right here and now, in years past. So that's pretty much where it's all come up from.
Do you have a lot of issues with your folks, your parents, with all of those chemicals in the house?
Sadly and unfortunately, both my parents are no longer with us. But they were my singular greatest encouragement when I started. And it was a case of, never knew you were into this sort of thing. So next thing you know, Christmases, birthdays, or any of that, I could have opened a model shop with the amount of stuff that I was given. Could have opened a store, no problem. But me being me, nobody else is getting these, I'm going to build them. And so it was a case of, cupboards full of boxes one side and shelves for the models on the other. Whether anybody else had any stuff they wanted to put up was irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Hey, looks like we got a number of folks chiming in. Nick McCarty says hello.
Yeah, Jan's
and Wendenberg. Now there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the resident maniac building that quarter scale eagle. Bless you, mate.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Building the backyard eagle.
Yeah, you're a better man than I.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't even have the backyard for anything like that anymore. I used to, but man, I thought having a 44-inch eagle was awesome. Until Andrew Grimshaw came out with his 88-inch, and now this guy, he's putting out his almost one half scale.
Yeah, roughly
eagle
speaking.
For his backyard.
Yeah, let's face it, it's the 1999 modelling equivalent of Hold My Beer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it.
So what are some of your favorite kits that you had built early on before you started getting into maybe a little bit more of the I'm going to create my own stuff days?
Yeah, I would say that it was pretty much a mixture, actually, in the way back when it went to, sort of like building model kits, I mean, the old Aurora kits, built all their old monster kits, a lot of their bigger sort of like between 28th and 32nd scale aircraft. I built more than just a few of those. But I think it started fairly early that I would always begin adding things. And with old aircraft, I always liked the old World War I biplanes and what have you. So it was a case of, right, diving to my mother's sewing box. Is it all right if I have this? Yes. What do you want it for? I'll let you know. And, stuff like that. And so I suppose that would have been, sort of like just pre-teens. I was starting into all of that stuff, messing around with paints. If I needed sand or anything that looked like dirt, it wasn't unusual to see me scraping around in the back garden with, that weed looks nice. I think I'll use that. And so, find out that it was a case of, I like that plant. I can use that. And then the question of, what happened to my chrysanthemum bulbs? Of which I would just, quiet, don't say a word, or you won't get any tea. That sort of thing. But
some of you model builders, some of the best of you guys have learned how to adapt, overcome, and improvise like crazy.
Oh yeah,
so my hats off to you on that.
Yeah.
Well, it's another one of those, it's a necessity to do a certain thing. And half the time it's a case of, I've got no idea how to do that, so I'm going to have a shot. I've learned that trick from others in the past who have done it. And therefore, all I'm doing is just, if you want to call it anything, continuing, the tradition. There are very few things which I can stand there and say, I thought that up all on my own, because 999.9 times out of 1,000, no, I won't have. Someone's already done that.
Yeah. Speaking of Aurora kits, I believe this is one of them that you said you liked. And that was the.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, my own personal birthday build. That was.
Wow,
Oh,
that's really good.
Yeah, I actually started that on my last birthday for no other reason than I was looking in the cupboard at my meagre stash and thought, why did I buy that? It doesn't matter. Okay. And, sort of like started, just literally putting it together. So after, I think, what was it? Yeah, probably a couple of days, it wound up with what you see there.
Well, okay, so putting something together and it turning out like this is two different things. Because, man, look at the gray in his beard and his hair and his eyebrows. I mean, the colors.
Dry brushing. Nothing more than that. Just dry brushing.
Dry brushing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try some of that because that looks pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So
Very nice work.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for the sculpting, the casting, and the detailing, and the whole 9 yards from beginning to end on that.
Well, when it comes down to doing one, I mean, that one was, what was it? It was the Aurora Polar Lights label, though originally they were issued by Adar back in the 60s, 70s, I believe it was.
Gotcha.
But with that one, literally, that was nothing more than a straight assembly, and the only change that I made to it was the details on the little altar in front with the semi-clear boxes and what have you, and I lit those up. But other than that, that is pretty much straight out of the box.
Wow.
The plastic chip parts as they come.
I think the executives at Aurora would be very happy to use you as their box art king.
I'd say, yeah. The boots, man.
Yeah, now, strangely enough, all of that, if you can imagine it, without the head, that was just painted, more or less, in completely flat colours. There was, just the, I think that was, let's see, a red leather for the outside of the jacket, the gloves, the shirt, the boots, etc. And the rest of it was a mid-sandy brown, and that was all there was. And then going over it with a water-soluble wash to lay in all the creases, to pull everything out, clean it off, and then dry brush over the top with the same colours, just to get all the detail to come out. And it was a nicely sculpted figure, and all that. I thought all that detail deserved to be seen.
Yeah.
And even for a kit that age, I mean, we're talking what, 40, 50 odd years old now from the original molds. The sculpting on the face and the hair was just still that good. And I thought, got to bring all that out. No matter how sometimes good your painting is, you've got to have a good canvas to start with, and that one was pretty damn good, even in the raw plastic.
If you got a good kit and somebody's done some good sculpting, then that's definitely the trick.
Yeah, it helps very, very much so. There's
what is one of your first kits, or have you produced something from sculpting to final result?
From sculpting to final, I would say that was, let's see now. That would have been 1997, 1998, something like that. A 1/16 Aliens Colonial Marine that I did. That was a ground up job, which I did, and then I think I ended up casting about 30 of those, I think, and they all went. I never actually kept one for myself, strangely enough. I don't have one. All I have is the photos. So, but as I say, that was sort of like getting on for the late 90s there. But that was the last time that I ever did, a figure full on from there. Scratch builds, Yeah, I've been doing those for years.
I guess
Okay,
the attitude
so-
is basically you'll build one day, so you don't care if you keep them or sell them all. You might as well
No,
sell them all. You
actually-
can always build one if you want.
Yeah, I would say out of all the models that you would look at on my site, for which I think, well, over 100, I would say that 30% of those are personal builds, and I've got about 9, 10 of them that are my own personal built things, and I've kept those
Right.
mainly because there are a lot of them that are figures, and I won't get rid of those because I'd just be trying to recreate the same paint job that I've done, and I've never been able to do that to my satisfaction.
Gotcha.
Okay. I like this one.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite recent ones. That's a mashup of 3 different CG meshes, which I printed, modified physically, and then sculpted the top and the jean shorts to go on her. The boots, the gloves, they were 3D printed, but the jean shorts and the leather top was Aves epoxy sculpt, which I built around her, but made them removable so I could paint it and then put it back on the figure.
Really?
She's 1/6.
And the bike is part of the kit, or you just added that?
No, that one was the Tamiya Kawasaki 1300 Tourer, one of my, for want of a better term, grail kits. Never bought it when it was available, always wanted to do it, but eBay to the rescue about 18 months ago. So I built the kit. That is just a standard, straight out of the box kit. She was about a 1982 issue, something like that. And it was literally me sitting here one day thinking, that bike model looks lonely all on its own.
Yeah. It's not now.
No.
Look at it. Got keys in her hand and everything.
Yep.
This kind of detail painting is hard to get.
Mm-hmm. There is actually on my site, I have a work in progress log showing the stages that I went through with building that figure. So all that info's out there.
Yeah, I believe I think
for those who are bored enough.
Yeah, look at for you guys watching. I posted the link for his website, and you can go through all these and be amazed, just like I was.
That is quite amazing.
Yeah. Be careful on the whip logs if you don't like salty language. I use it occasionally. Just to get the point across, you understand?
It's all good. It's all good. Emphasis is good.
Oh, yeah. I tend to emphasize quite a bit.
So Keith was asking what scale is that? You said it's 1/6 scale?
1/6, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you've got everything broken up on your site to figures, aircraft, radio control, real space, sci-fi, vehicles, miscellaneous, and work in progress.
Oh, yeah.
That never ends, just as long as you're alive, right?
Yeah, well, I wish some of them would end, and then it's a case of, I'm not going to get this done in a hurry. All right, if that's the way you want it. Pass me the mallet and stand back.
So a couple of your builds that you said you enjoyed was Dr. Zaius.
Yeah.
You've got your wow, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. You've got your what was it? The Enterprise. Which one did you not like, or you did like? You want? Oh, the space shuttle. I wanted to show that one.
Oh yeah, the Daedalus.
The space shuttle. Where are you?
It's there somewhere. Keep digging. Keep digging.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? I just had it a minute ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you had it last. I don't know where you put it.
Okay.
What space shuttle?
That's the monogram 72nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That,
Which one
yeah,
did you
that
name it?
Daedalus, after
Oh,
the
from
one in
Space
Space
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
was
just saw
something
that
that
movie the
happened
other night.
on the Resin Illuminati, friends, if you're watching, Facebook group. We had a monogram group build, and I thought, yeah, I'll throw myself into that because I remember I had the very dusty and very sort of like moth-eaten box sitting around up in the loft that had that in it. And so, yeah, I'll do that. And once I'd sort of like got into most of the build, I picked up the Warbird decals tile set, decal sheets for it, looked at them, didn't particularly like them, so scanned it and then used those as a template and redrew all of them. So all that tile effect that you see on there, that's all, oh, we've gone off. I'll keep talking. The tile, yeah,
I
the
was trying to
tile,
put you up.
all the tile effect on there, it's all water slide decals. But it went onward from there once I'd done it, and I threw open a little bit of a poll contest that said, right, what should I name it? And the winning entry came out as the Daedalus. So there we go.
That's
Good
pretty
movie.
nice.
Yeah, that one actually, didn't work out too badly. I was quite happy with that one.
And then
And
like
that
the
immediately
stand.
got bought off me.
let's see. You did the Enterprise E.
Oh yeah, the 650th one.
Yeah, I've got it here too. That one is, if I remember, yeah, Lordy, that's
Yep.
covered.
Yep, 40 inches of fiberglass Starship, which, let's face it, is not a bad place to start.
I guess not.
Here. And
Come on, Todd. Come on.
There she is.
Wow.
that's got a lot going on in there.
It certainly did.
It's very nice.
Certainly did. Yep, one of the first, I would say probably the first sort of like garage kit of a Starship that I ever actually built. Mainly for the fact that it was one of the designs that I've always liked. The Sovereign class always spoke to me as someone said, here's a refit, here's an Excelsior class. Now, why don't you just go and pimp my ride? And that's what someone came up with. So, it's sort of like, hot rodded a Starship. And that was, the design. I thought, I love it. And as soon as, the 650th kit started to be touted, I thought, I'm having that. And strangely enough, that's one of the ones I've still got.
Yeah, I'd keep that too. That looks like a lot of work. So one of our watchers wants to know what do you mean by dry brush.
One moment. Actually, if you've got a while, I'll actually demonstrate it.
We got all the time, and I'll put you right up front so everybody can see you.
Thank you. All right, dry brush. Want to know how this gets done? One of the best things to use as dry brushing is a brush like that. Bristles are very short and very close to the haft. That is the sort of thing you need. So, let's just say, for argument's sake, you've got something like this. Now you can see where I show it in the light that there's detail, but some angles you can't even see it. So, grey paint.
Model paint. I like that stuff.
Yep. It works. So, a little bit squeezed out on there. Now, in the paint, get it on the rag and just do that. So normally when you brush it across, looks like you can't see anything. So, you see that like so. And all you do is you go backwards and forwards very lightly with the brush. Doesn't have to be hard. And then you just keep working it. and then you will see just there
Yep.
where it started to show up.
It is. Yeah.
So going hard, you can actually start highlighting that grey.
Yeah.
That's what is meant by dry brush. And you can use it on any colour that you like. How it usually works is you use it with military modelling, or if you've got fine detail, use that sort of technique. So say if you used a matte black as a base colour, dry brush in a dark grey, going over it relatively heavily, and then you work up with a lighter grey. I'll give you one example. Back in the tick. I have to throw a bit more light on this, but in the X-Wing cockpit, you can see where all that detail is brought out in the back.
Oh yeah.
All the pipe work. That is nothing more than dry brushing, as I've just demonstrated. That is matte black with a light grey.
Yeah, it does bring out the detail, doesn't it?
Yep. All that detail comes out. Very little effort, but it does the job.
Well, that's Ian's tip for the day.
Yep. Excuse me while I just wash out the brush.
So you just wash it out just with...
Yep, with water.
Yeah, it's all water-based paint.
Yeah, which is good. And for those who have been doing this a while, I have my what are these now? Probably my Mark 74 washout rags, aka the trousers.
Yeah,
I keep using these until they can stand up on their own. Then I know it's time for a new pair.
Right, there you go.
Mainly due to the amount of paint and paint that's holding them up. Right.
So the particular brush, do they actually make a brush special for that, or
There
do you kind of
are
modify the
some
brush
of these
yourself?
brushes. I think these brand were Army Painter. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but there are sets of dry brushing brushes. But as I say, normally the best trick for the dry brushing ones is a good close fine bristle.
Almost like a makeup brush.
Yeah, makeup brushes, I'm told, will do pretty much the same sort of thing for you. But that is what it can do.
Wow.
So for detail work, and definitely for figure work, they're extremely useful.
That's
and I think that's probably about the second set of those I've actually bought because I keep wearing them out.
Yeah. Well, the next picture I have is something that a lot of these people here are going to recognize. And you're probably going to get a bunch of emails saying, "Can you build me one?"
I get that about a few things sometimes. Oh, lordy, that thing. The super
Oh, lordy.
Mm-hmm.
What scale is that?
I've got no idea. It didn't start off with the scale. All I got asked was, can you make it the same length as a 44-inch Eagle that I built many, many moons ago? That's back in the 90s that happened. I'd already built about 2 or 3 Eagles, 44s, and one guy who bought one, he came along and said, can you do me a Super Swift? And I said, well, I can try. Give me a while to find out a few things. I ended up with 2 grainy magazine pictures and an old worn second-hand VHS tape of the Bringers of Wonder episode.
Sure.
That was all I had to work from.
Lordy.
That whole thing was built around a 4-inch diameter piece of drain pipe, which was the only thing I could reckon out was the right size I needed. Quick story on that one. I'd already been handed this and I said I'd think about it. I was walking somewhere one day, I can't remember, and I was passing this place where they were doing a lot of building work on this house, and sticking out of the rubbish skip was this piece of lime green 4-inch diameter drain pipe. So I grabbed the passing flunky and said, "Is it all right if I have that?" "Yes, certainly," they said. So I pulled this 6-foot length of drain pipe out of the skip and was walking home with that on my shoulder.
Nice.
And lo and behold, that became the core for the Super Swift. The tanks, the big sort of like tubes on the top and bottom, that's 2-inch diameter drain pipe. And the ones on the side were detailed 1-inch diameter drain pipe with resin caps and detailing and all that sort of stuff on it. Soldered brass landing gear. The headpiece was carved wood and resin bits and all sorts.
Well, with just a little bit of information you had back then in the 90s, that was just the beginning of the internet, I believe.
Yep. Way before that wonderful reference thing called the internet ever arrived. And boy, could I have done with it back then.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely did an amazing job for what little reference material you were exposed to for it. So my hat's off to you on that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good.
Kindly. Yes, that was a lot of time spent squinting at photographs and freeze framing my way through a video. Was saying that kind of looks like that. Sketch. Yeah, that'll do.
Man, that's a good shot.
Yeah,
got to draw the line somewhere.
It'll look something like what it's supposed to by the time I've finished. You know, that's the only thing I ever promised back then.
Right.
That's truly astonishing. Just like this one. Here's one for the Trek guys.
Oh, that thing.
I'm gonna guess all these little switches down here do something.
Yes, this was okay. Another one of those long story jobs. 2008. Asked to build the 350 a 3-fit kit. Was asked to build it and then someone else would paint it. This is back before Arduino and most circuits were ever invented. That's why there's a load of switches on the base, because all the lighting on that is independently controlled through all those switches. So I built it. It went off to the person who was supposed to paint it. Years later, I'm not kidding, years later, the guy came back and he said, "The person who was going to paint it can't. You can have it back and use that as part payment for another deal." "Certainly," says I. It was sitting up on the shelf for a good couple of years. Same person turned up and said, "I've changed my mind. I'd like you to build and finish that." So I said, "Okie dokie." He went away. I banged my head against the wall for 5 minutes and then thought, okay, let's get on with it. There's the finished article. So in reality, that thing was 9 years from start to finish. But it ended up being the last sort of like, well, I say the last 350 a 3-fit. I've got 2 more, one for a guy in Australia and one kit that I've still got around. That's going to be mine. I hate the kit, but I've always loved the design and always will.
Yeah, the refit from the motion picture is my favorite by far.
And the pearlescent paint was the greatest amount of fun. Every time I say that word, I can hear my airbrush whimpering.
Yeah, I bet.
Because trust me, I make the same sort of noise. Yep.
There's a tremendous amount of detail. Looks like you got the Ztec stuff going on big time with that too.
Everything, all airbrushed and custom rub down decals for that one, because I didn't want to overcoat the pearlescent once I'd done it. So I just ended up getting some custom rub down decals for her instead of the carry film water slides have. Lovely. But to my eyes, they stick out like a sore thumb when put over pearlescence.
Right. That's I'm going to go back and watch the movie, but I don't remember seeing all this. I don't know what you call it, green.
There was a reason for that. When, according to Paul Olsen, when he painted all the pearlescence on the 8'4" 3-foot effects model, when they lit it up, and he said it was beautiful, it looked like a pearl, and it did. And Doug Trumbull said to him, "Looks absolutely beautiful. We can't film her like that, fully lit. Too many light kicks off of the edge, so they wouldn't get a good sharp matte out of it. So they had to underlight the effects model, so they could get all the all the traveling mats and the overlays they needed to composite it for the movie. Hence, all that beautiful pearl work that he did, you don't see it."
Well, I was actually going to say, I was going to actually say to Todd that you would see it if you were to get off of your VHS copy of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, right, and to move forward with a Blu-ray or something.
Those are worth big money, man.
The VHS. Oh yes. Hey, looks like George Stahar was asking the question: is there a studio scale model that is your holy grail?
Yes, and you've just seen it.
Okay,
if I could build a studio scale refit, I would. That would be my all-time. That would be the one I would aim for, definitely. And I keep thinking about it. The thought of that has never truly been out of my brain. I've Zen modelled the living crap out of it, i.e. I've thought about it a great deal. I've figured out what I need to do. Now, of course, the next step will be doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe in about, I don't know, let's see, what'll that be? About 10 years when I actually officially retire, might actually do it. If I'm still breathing by that point, I might actually do it. No guarantees. Do not hold me to this, please, people. But we'll see.
Well, good luck to you, sir, on the retirement plan.
Trust me, I'm going to need it. I've got to make it first, but yeah.
The model you have sitting right behind you, the X-Wing.
Yes.
Does this go to that?
That's it. That's the cockpit. Exactly the same thing.
So,
strangely enough, it was a case of that's the dry brushing. That's what it can do for you.
Amazing, but I still can't get over this pilot, man. God almighty.
Yeah, the detail's amazing. Good grief.
Well,
Todd, you need to do another one of your not 1999 weekends again and showcase a lot of Ian's work. That's amazing stuff.
As I always say, when you've got a good canvas to start from, you can do some stuff. That pilot and that cockpit were an incredibly good canvas.
That's understandable, but you also incorporate quite a bit of expertise in because I mean, not anybody can do that, no matter how much detail that your mold or your kit would have.
All it really is, and all it amounts to with anybody who does modelling, it's just constant practice. That's all that it really amounts to, just constant practice. Now, I will hold my hand on heart. I know of figure modelers who are better than me, military modelers who are better than me, aircraft modelers who are better than me, sci-fi modelers who are better than me. But in my job, you need to be an all-rounder. You've got to be able to do a bit of everything. And so it goes from that sort of thing, as you see there, to, whatever is required. This is the real difference. Even when the subject is of absolutely no interest to you, as has happened to me, you've still got to do the best job that you can.
I mean, just look at those. Look at those tubes behind him. The lavish detail. I mean, what did that take you? A couple of days per tube?
No. That was all 3D printed. All that detail was already there, 3D printed.
Yeah, but when you go back and forth with the gray and the black, that's just amazing.
That's the dry brush he was talking about right there.
Yeah. I will tell you now that when I got this, it was an upgrade kit that I bought in from Falcon 3D parts. From their parts to that was probably about a day and a half, if that.
Wow. Still, that's just amazing.
Yeah. it's just the constant practicing of skills. I am not going to stand here and say, you know, I do this stuff and, you know, nobody else can. Rubbish. Anybody.
Oh no,
can
I
do
didn't
it.
say. I didn't imply that. But the
No.
bottom line is,
But this is, you know, this is what I say to other people who said, "Oh, I could never do that." I say, "Rubbish. Of course you can. You've just got to get some practice."
oh, I'm
True.
sure. I'm sure. You know, it'd be really cool though if you were to actually produce, 3 or more minute videos of how tos. You could probably do pretty good on your own YouTube channel. And there's your retirement plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Just saying.
Oh yeah.
So
That
I
thing.
think this is one of the ones you did not have a fun
No,
with.
I did not like it. I did not like it. Horrible kit. Really awful plastic kit. That one.
Sure
That
does
was
look
one.
nice now.
Well, yeah. After the work was put in, but that would be one of those plastic kits. I mean, I've seen that go for what, hundreds on eBay. You'd have to pay me to take one of those plastic kits off your hand. You really would.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, with that one, it wasn't just the basic build. I had to upgrade almost all of the detail. I made up photo etch brass to go on it, added detail left, right, and centre, and then did that paint job. Considering that thing was about that big, all told,
Oh my.
tiny thing, you know.
Wow.
It's the old, you can't get, the brusqueness of the phrase, I apologise for, but, you can't polish a turd, but occasionally you can roll it in glitter. That one was a half and half.
I'm going to remember
my gosh.
that.
Albert Buchanan says, I've got one sitting on my desk. Yeah.
Well, I
I
love
wanna
the
see it when
stand.
you're
The stand
done,
is
Albert.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That one can take a fair bit of work, to get detail. But then again, just like everything else, that one was specifically built for someone because the old phrase about, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. I wouldn't have touched that kit with my barge pole or anybody else's barge pole, actually. I would never have gone near it. I wouldn't have built it. I wouldn't have built it for myself.
So it was the kit was the problem. It wasn't the detailing and stuff. It was a bad kit.
That's the only problem, is that it's the domino effect. I have a bad kit that I've got to make look nice. Therefore, I have to throw all that detailing at it to get it to look that way. So it was one of those where I was sitting there just looking at the parts and looking at all my reference and thought, no, I'm not going to get away easy with this one. Okie dokie, let's have a go at it. And after, I think that was a couple of weeks' work, constant fighting that took me to finally get it to that stage.
A few times walking away.
Yes, actually, a few times walking away and thinking to myself, think of the paycheck, think of the paycheck, think of the paycheck.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And that was it. So
here's one I really like. I like a lot of Jerry Anderson stuff. This one looks really good.
Oh man, very nice. Yep, do like the UFO ships.
Yep. Started life as a 24-inch long vac form kit. The only thing that ended up remaining after that was from the back end where you've got that red line to the bit where you've got those gun pods sticking out the side. That's the only thing that remained of the kit once I'd finished. The nose, the wings, the tail, the canopy, the cockpit, I ended up having to scratch build and vac form those myself to get it right. Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. The wings and the tail I remade from wood. Did a new master for the front bit, the front rib section and the intake. And the canopy was a complete fresh vac form that I had to do. Mainly because the individual who wanted that one done wanted a unit inside it to make the pilot move up and down like it does on the show. because you get that long panning shot on UFO where it gets to the front of the Sky One and you see the pilot come up into the cockpit. He wanted that, so I did it.
Another improvisation.
Yep.
Amazing. And so that's another one of those.
That's probably one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah. I think the guy still got it, actually. I don't know what state it's in now, but he still got it.
Well, I hope he's not throwing it around thinking that it's going to fly or anything like that. That thing is sweet.
Wouldn't surprise me if he tried it, but yeah.
Details. I love the pilots you make. They all look like these things look like you could just take them and film a show with them.
Yeah, that one, it was partial scratch. The one thing that I've always been pathetic at is sculpting faces. And I remember the head off of that was from a old IMI kit. It was some sort of knight in armor. And I had the bits in my Greebly box and I just searched through it. And now somebody pulled out this head and I thought, you'll do. I've only got to saw it off the rest of it. So, ding. Right, yeah, that'll do it. And then I think I found an old plastic ball or something that I made the helmet out of, carved that all round because I always liked the curving round shape of that old racing helmet that they used. And yeah, that's how that one ended up coming about, all out of necessity.
Wow.
Which, strangely enough, is how a lot of them tend to work out.
So what are some of your current projects that you got going on that are probably something very challenging?
Let's see now. I've got several 2001 projects that I'll be working on. One of them is a studio scale model of the moon bus from 2001 that I've been asked to do. Nice. I've gone as far as test doing one landing gear, which I can show you, strangely enough. Hey. There it is.
Wow.
Whoa. Hold on, man. Let me put you up front here.
Yep.
That is nice. Holy moly.
And believe it or not, that part is from the old Airfix SRM1 hovercraft. Now, that kit is expensive. So that is actually a 3D print. I sat there, measured the original kit part, and then rebuilt it as a mesh and 3D printed it. And I even put the ejector pin marks in. Because it's got those.
That
the way to do it.
SRN kit is expensive because it's a donor kit. Everybody wants one.
Yep. And so literally that whole thing, it's in parts. But, it was just a test shot, so it's been knocked and had a few chunks taken out of it over the time. That is all 3D printed. The whole thing.
Mark Myers said, tell Ian I said howdy.
Hey, Mark, fella. Yes, Mark, another one of those ones, just like Boyd, who can turn out refits and TOS enterprises like nobody's business, and I'll take my hat off to them because I couldn't do that. And they do bloody lovely jobs every single time.
His bills are amazing. Todd's got one right behind his head there.
Yeah, I know.
The Eagle happens to be his too.
I'm not surprised. Him, like I say, him and people like Boyd Compton, they can turn out those, as much as they like. Me, that refit that you showed, that's the 7th time I've done that one. And it's one of those where, as I say, I've only got 2 more to build, but after that, I'm never going to go near that damn kit again. I don't care how much anyone offers me. Never again. Never.
Got a hole in my lip.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah. Well, I say never, and I don't care how much anyone offers me. If there's a particular, shiny suited idiot with deep pockets out there, hello.
Money has a tendency of doing that to some folks.
Well, as I've said to Todd before, to paraphrase that line from a Monty Python sketch, I don't judge people's scale modelling choices. I just want the money.
Right on.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Absolutely.
One last one. I think this is another one of the ones you did not care for much.
Yeah, that one was all right. The kit itself, there wasn't a problem with, but it's what people asked me to do with it.
Ah.
That thing is about 7 inches long.
Wow.
And it was a solid cast resin kit, and they asked me to light it.
Oh,
I had to
Lord.
hollow the thing out and then
Right.
rebuild it and then light it.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
That had, 10 LEDs, fiber optics all over the place. And by the time I crushed it all back together, I was literally, glued it all up before I got round to the painting. And then it was the next day, took all the clamps off of it, sat there and watched it, waiting for it to do the Jack in the Box of pling, but it didn't. So I very carefully painted it, very carefully packed it, very carefully sent it off to the guy in Australia. And the word has it, it arrived in exactly the same number of parts as I packed it.
That's
So
good.
at which point it was well done, high fives all round, never mention that to me again.
I'm going to take a little
Very nice.
break here for a minute, let Gordon show off some goodies, and because I know he's got to leave at 3. You okay to stick around a little bit, Eden?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Wow.
Well, that was cute.
Yeah.
What is that?
Wowza.
What you got going on over there?
My iPhone or my Apple Watch was talking to me.
Nice. Nice.
When I want her to talk to me, she doesn't talk.
Oh,
Well,
there
fans,
were so many
just-
things I could say to that comment, but I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
So, fans, how you guys doing today? So, just want to at least let you know that this summer's been an amazing 1999 summer with regards to merchandising. Whether you get the new soundtrack CD or the I don't know if you guys saw my photograph from last night. The the ugly sweater.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Make sure you get you an ugly sweater.
Everybody needs an ugly sweater.
Absolutely. And then if you live in the land of Down Under, you can actually get you a really cool Blu-ray Ultimate set. Just came out. You can probably find them on eBay if you some of you Americans or even Brits, if you guys wanted to get them. We can't play them here unless you got a region-free DVD, but the Fanderson book that comes with it is just amazing. I don't know, I found a pretty good deal on eBay with free shipping and everything else like that. Also wanted to emphasize Todd's going to be opening up, and sorry for the delay, folks. Todd's going to be opening up the voting for the contest that we got going on for the Eagle. A little bit overdue, but whoever's going to be winning Cat 2, I'm going to be shipping this. It's still here. I'm going to be shipping it. And then Cat 1 is going to be getting the Geo Alliance Richard Bergeron poster set, numbers 1 and 2 with the COAs with them. So to me, that's pretty exciting. So get out there, make sure you vote. The more votes. And Todd, you're going to be putting a due date on the vote, right?
Yeah. I'll probably give it a week because people are on and off Facebook so much.
Okay. Right. So anyway, bottom line is that, get your votes in there. We want to have maximum participation. Who's going to be the winner? I'm going to get that thing out to you and congratulate. But really hats off to all of you builders for at least putting in the effort. Really, really awesome builds that I've seen from you participants. So that's pretty cool. Basically, that's about it, really. I don't have anything else to chit chat about. But yeah, get your get your stuff. If there's, I'm not saying you have to own it all, but there's a lot of choice out there. Even Anderson Entertainment puts out these really cool pins that I would recommend getting. They're really nice. I mean, if you like pins. for your lapel or whatever if you wear the suit. But anyway, there's a whole lot of stuff out there. Some news that is coming. You've probably seen. There's a bit of a delay for the stun gun comlock kit from MPC, as well as the hop kit is coming out very shortly. I think that Jamie's going to be doing a reveal of the box art, which I've already seen. Thank you very much. And the painting is amazing, just to let you guys know. But it's exciting. I know that there's a lot of you out there that have been waiting for the 148 scale Hawk. It's about 15 and a half inches. You saw it, our posts as well as Jamie's posts from Wonderfest this past year. So having 2 kits of 1999 coming out this year is truly exciting stuff. So, I mean, there's no shortage of truly awesome stuff out there. So, take a look around, and, those are not going to be limited by numbers per se, but they're going to be coming out. In the 1612 side of the house, you saw the post for the Dragon's Domain set, the latest episodic set. So that's exciting. Hopefully those are going to be coming to everybody's grubby hands here within the next week or two. So I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be some interesting, really cool news coming out from 1612, aside from what's kind of being in the production right now. The Alan Carter and the Koenig figures are supposed to be coming, but I'm talking about even further out. There's going to be even newer news further out, which is very exciting stuff. So be at the ready to see some of the interesting ideas that Steve Walker and 1612 are coming out with. Very exciting stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. One more thing. The Moonbase Alpha Tech Ops manual, put in your orders. Today, I think, is the last day for the free, the free print as well as the patch for the standard book. The special edition sold out within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, yeah. It was amazing. It was so quick. So if you missed out on the special edition, I'm very sorry, but they only did produce only 311 of them. But yeah, they sold out within about 2 hours. So that book is going to be hot, and I am looking forward to once again getting my grubby hands on that book. Probably more so than just about anything else. We've been staring at the Alpha Moonbase Technical Notebook from 1977, back when Starlog and David Hirsch produced it. Keith Young, sorry, I keep forgetting. I always want to call him Keith Wilson. Keith Young had produced subsequent additional packs. Jeff Rubel put out his technical book with regards to life after 1999 and the moon blowing out of the Earth's orbit. Those are really good reference materials, but this book here is going to be a really good follow-up for what we have been kind of stuck with, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the last 40 plus years. So I'm really looking forward to this book. So really do appreciate your time. And I don't know, it's all exciting stuff. So I know my pocketbook's ready to go. So Todd, is yours?
No, not right yet. I need to sell my house.
That's not going to stop him, Gordon. But no, his pocketbook isn't ready.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, Ian, looking at some of your
air
stuff.
Conditioning.
Yeah. So, Ian, looking at your stuff, I'm going to have to save up some money to figure out what we're going to have built from you, because, man, your work is absolutely stunning, absolutely amazing. And with what Todd is going to be showing off on your latest work, we've all seen the pictures and everything. But that 44-inch Eagle that you made is really, really nice, with all the subsequent pods that go along with it. So I would like to see it before I break away here, if that's okay, Mr. Todd.
What?
Can you show his Eagle?
Oh, I reckon. There's one of them right there.
Hook the
brother up, man.
One?
That is, that's the brass framework one, the last brass framework one I'm ever going to do. And that was a case of the landing gear was, I do believe, the Paul Gray one. The engine bells, I think, were done by Mike Reeder.
King
Pretty
of
much everything else was done by yours truly. Combination of kit bashing, greedily building, and 3D printing.
nasty. Woo.
That is amazing.
Yes, it was. It
I would love
was.
to see that close up.
Yeah. There, I did get a few, sort of like half decent photos of, the thing itself before it went out the door. And, the gent who ended up with that one left here a very happy individual. But he did have to say, sorry, Neil, but it's the truth, that when he left with it, it was quite early in the morning because he said he had to get it back to put it in his office before the wife noticed. And don't any of you out there watching this tell me that you don't know what that's like, because I know quite a few people who do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I jotted my stuff around here all the time when I'm doing shipping or just opening packages that are incoming. My wife says, "You need to put that stuff away. Get that stuff out of my living room. I don't need all that crap all over the place." So I do have a bit of a dumping ground here in this spare bedroom and stuff.
Strangely enough, quick story if I may, that Super Swift that we saw, that was one where I thought I might have almost lost a long-time customer, because after he picked it up, he lives a few hundred miles from me, and I phoned up his wife, Sue, lovely girl, to say that, we fed him, watered him, kicked him out the door. She said, did he pick up anything? And I said, yeah, why? And then she told me his trick was go home, go walking in. She'll say, did you pick up anything? He'll say no. She'll go to bed later that night. He'll stay up on the pretense of watching the movie, bring it in, put it on the dining room table. So, she would come down in the morning only half awake. It would take a little bit longer to sink in. About 4 hours later, she phoned back and said, I got him. And I said, how? And she said, we went through the same usual party, but I told him, yeah, bring it in. So he had to do it there and then. And all that she said was, it's beautiful. I like it. And I thought, saved.
Saved.
Yeah, he gets to live for another day, and I've still got someone to build something for.
Right on.
Very cool.
There you go, Jordan.
Yeah, that is nice. That is very nice. Like I said, I would love to see it close up. Some of the tile details on there is amazing. I do like what you did with it.
Yeah, I do remember when I first. Yeah, and those wires are actually the electrical wires going from the battery to the rear engine lights.
So the one thing that I wanted to emphasize off of that is I love the embellishments, the added embellishments that you did between the walkway and the command module. Yeah, the doors and all of those details. You didn't go Canon with it like the shooting model. No. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the bottom line is that all the additional detail that you added and improvised into that is just amazing.
Well, that was when I was discussing it with the guy himself, and I said, do you want Eagle 1, 2, 3, or just an Eagle? Thankfully, he said an Eagle. And I said, how detailed do you want it? And he said, very. And I said, that I can do. And so that was, my Greebly bins took a hell of a hammering with that one. They really did.
I bet.
Of course, the flip side is that for the 3D printed 44s that I've got planned, I've now got to build a mesh of that detail. Thankfully, I have got a couple of resin copies left over, so I will sit there, run my vernier gauge over it, and build them all virtually.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, you definitely added a lot of that extra detail, not only from those hatches, but even the entire walkway itself. Looks really good.
Well, this is where it goes from. Don't get me wrong. I understand when people want a replication of the filming miniature, because that's what they love. That's their personal connection to what they love. I've got no problem with that. But with a few people that I build for, I build them display models. So they're not a replication of the Studio One. Therefore, they've got to look that much different or that much better than a shooting model would. I understand why shooting models, look like they do. Oh yeah, it had to have gold foil on it somewhere. It isn't spacey enough if you don't have gold foil. But as I say, with a lot of them, which is why I understand with replicating a studio model to exactly the way it was done, or as near as is humanly possible.
Right.
But I also get it when someone wants a display model. So, small details that make up, the whole of it have just got to be that much better. Because unlike some of those poor souls who were slaving 18, 20 hours a day under, a deadline and tight time restrictions, I don't have that. Therefore, I can go berserk with detailing and stuff like that.
Well, technology didn't hurt either, because now, not only do you have time, but, we're all living in the land of high definition and all of that other stuff. Back then we didn't have to worry too much. Well, they didn't have to worry about it, to where, here we are, watching on our little our mom's little 19-inch roll around TV. We wouldn't have ever caught any of that stuff anyway. But nowadays, the added detail is just kind of a bonus.
Well, as I've noticed, when you look at, there was that one shot that I always remember from Thunderbirds, where they were transporting a rocket on a transporter over a bridge. And I've seen screenshots where you see it from a TV, from a DVD, and then from a Blu-ray. And when you look on the Blu-ray one, you can see all the wood grain in the model itself when they built it. Because
and it was never intended for that.
Exactly. So it's not come to the point where, can you replicate me this model, and I'd like it with all the wood grain effect showing through. It's a case of, I've never done it, but I'll have a go.
Depending on how deep your pocketbook is.
Some more of the embellishments. I love that stuff.
Well, that was one of those where I always remember that pod, and it was never shown how they got from where they were onto the conveyor belt.
Right.
So I thought, let's make something that looks like that's how it's done.
Right. All automation too.
Yeah.
Genius.
So, there we go. That's the reason that they ended up being on there.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Todd, thank you so much for showing those. Thanks, Ian, for your time. I really do appreciate chatting with you. I got to roll.
No worries, Gordon.
It was wonderful chit-chatting with you. Definitely will be contemplating the idea of saving some money for a build. That's for sure. Because, with workmanship like that, that's just nuts. That's amazing. That's next level right there. So very appreciated.
Gordon. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll be chatting with you guys later. Thanks.
Take care and stay safe, Gordon.
See you, buddy.
Right, thank you much. You too.
Bye, my friend.
Yeah, this is the
rescue pod.
This is the way I want mine when I get it done. I want all this detail, because I figured I'll go to. I'm hoping to go to the UK next year to see the real one, the real ones, the screen used. I'm gonna do that, but when mine's done, I want it to be something that you could look at and say, okay, this could really work. This is how it really was.
That's what I've always loved about the Eagle design. I mean, you know me. I'm not a fan of the show. Don't think I ever really have been. But the design of the Eagle stands up.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to get into technical details, of course, there are bits of it that don't. But the overall look stands, as far as I'm concerned. It stands up. It looks like it has that purpose. Looks like it, it actually does what it's supposed to do. So yeah, I've never had a problem with that design at all.
Here you did the VIP. I like the color too.
Yeah. That, strangely enough, was, as I said before, that was the passenger pod originally, but the guy asked if I could repaint it to a VIP. And me being me said, okie doke, if that's what you want. And that was the end up of that one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Certainly, it just has that nice different look, which is why I'm not a fan of the ordinary passenger pod, but I do like the rescue pod with the red stripes. I think it just adds that splash of colour, which really sets it apart.
Man, look at the details. These guys are just freaking out about this detail. Look at this. Hold on, I gotta show this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how long did it take you to build this? Just out of curiosity.
Well, that was one where, as I've told the story to many before, I'll try and keep it as short as possible. Client came to me, had passenger pod, command module, shoulder pods, and a few bits and pieces from an AB Models 44 and someone who'd scratch built the brass framework for him. Nothing personal, but they'd done an absolutely terrible job, and the parts from the AB kit weren't that great. So I ended up doing the whole thing from the ground up, which is why it took more than just a few years to do it.
Right.
But all that lot was after I had done the cage frames, then built the master patterns for all that stuff to go inside it and hopefully all join together. And it was 3D printed cores, which is why it's got all that ribbing on it. It was just an artifact that I wanted to keep. And then built on top with, kit parts, whatever I had and whatever had to be chopped up to fit in that place. So you've got Tamiya 35th tank parts, castings that I took off the Fine Molds Millennium Falcon parts from the 124th Gemini, 144th Apollo Saturn V, all those sorts of things. But the door, for example, and the surround, that was all completely built from scratch. Originally, it was, just styrene sheet and just thick lumps of it, which were carved, sanded, basically to make it. And then I took resin castings from all of those.
It's insane. Somebody just said that on there. Brilliant, insane.
Well, the brilliant has been attached to my models. The insane part is something that I share because I've been called that more than once. But with that, for example, and here's a little thing. Strangely enough, the shoulder pods were 3D printed. Detail like the Gemini part on it was from a resin casting of the part instead of buying half a dozen kits. Just didn't need it. But those panels with the texture on it, they were done on my old FDM 3D printer.
Oh, yeah.
That left that pattern on it. So I thought that'll look different. So use that. And most of the rest of it was, I think, 2mm styrene sheet, which was just, cut, shaped, and glued onto it.
It's amazing. Yeah. But just amazing. I'm stunned. So is everybody else, I can tell. This section is unbelievable.
Yeah. Brass framework, but all the main fuel tanks and the smaller spherical ones, they're all 3D printed from my own meshes that I built for it, specifically. Because it has the extra detail that you don't see on the studio model, and I wanted, extra bits.
I love that.
Because it was in keeping with it, just to up the detail.
Right. Amazing.
Thank you.
How long ago did you build this one?
That one was actually completed this year.
Okay.
As it goes. And departed about 2-3 weeks ago. The guy came down to pick it up. So he left there a happy bunny.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Well, he had the Eagle, the 3 pods that went with it, plus those moon buggies that I did. They were all for him as well. So he went away loaded with Space 1999.
Wow. I'm some of this stuff I haven't even looked at until now. I just love all this detail.
That's what was required on it.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I want mine when it gets built.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Any questions, anybody? Because I'm getting a lot of superb. Oh, one guy said my head hurts. I need some scotch.
Yeah. Personally, I've got a bottle of bourbon, but it's mine. The only way anybody gets that is to fight me for it.
Right. And I'm just this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Anybody with any questions, fire away. If we want to have a Q&A, I'm up for it.
Yeah, they're just all going, wow, damn, nice 3D. Love the hash on the panels. Superb, stunning.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
It
you.
is the continuation of the design to yeah, Stephen. Yep, they're digging it.
Good.
I can't tell who this is, but it says your work showed me the way, Ian. So I don't know if
Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. Yeah, yeah. If you can get it up, please do.
On this platform, unless the people that are watching go to Facebook and do like a little release, so they'll show their names. I can't tell who's doing it, but I might be able to look on my phone here and see who's doing it. What are you guys doing here? Okay. Oh, Jan said it's me. That's Jan. I kind of figured it was Jan, but I wanted to make sure it was before.
Well, trust me, as far as it's concerned, with that quarter scale eagle that you're building, that is unreal. Absolutely unreal. That thing is going to be beautiful. I mean, it's already gorgeous, but it's really going to be beautiful once it's done. And, hats off for all the metal work as well. That was stunning.
I'm going to have to find out where he lives and go visit him, I guess. I can't not.
Exactly. I was just going to say, come on, Todd, there's no guess about it. You're going there to see it once it's finished. It's a foregone conclusion.
Nick McCarty said, Ian, could you make a model of Todd's corner with a miniature Todd? I'm not so miniature. I'm a big guy.
I will definitely give it some consideration, Nick.
I know. Where are you? Where are you, George? I saw you. Oh, George says, how do you know what greebly works in what spot on the model?
Okay, I would say that a lot of the time you will look at the space that you've got, and if you know that you want to put detailing in it, when you have something that sort of fits, don't worry if you're not going to use all of it. If it's nipping off a part or trimming off a part to make it fit in there and look the way you want it to, reach for that knife or that saw, because sometimes that's how it has to be. How can I put it? There was a comment, I can't remember if it was from, I think it was Richard Edlund, one of the old ILMers, who they had that thing which he said, don't know what it's supposed to do, but it looks cool and it fits there. That's sometimes the point. If it looks like it's supposed to do something, that's the art of greeblifying something. Even if it doesn't, or if you really think about it, no way it will work in reality, doesn't matter. If it looks the part, that's the way to do it. And when you have, sort of like places where you're looking at festoon with greeblies, don't coat the whole thing. Follow it in the same way that, people like ILM did it, in patches, in parts. So it's a case of, if you have the overall look of the thing and you want to break it up, just greeblify it in parts. So decide which parts you want to, and then design and fit your greeblies around the space that you've got. Modifying if you have to, of course, but that's, that would be my take on it. I'm sure that other people would have different ways or methods in doing it, but to answer your question, there you have it.
Yeah.
And I hope it helps. And if it don't, you can blame me. It's a win-win.
What's your Gary Eastwood wants to know what your all-time favorite model on screen and build is.
Oh, my favourite all-time model on screen, I would have to say that it is still the Enterprise refit, pedestrian and boring. I know it might be to some people. That is the one on-screen model that I can say made my jaw drop when I first saw her in a magazine in the 70s, more so when I saw her on the cinema screen. I have always loved it. Modelling wise, if it wasn't for the fact that I hated the 350th kit because I've done so many of them, and I know what you have to do to modify it, to get it to look right anyway, in my mind. Yeah, I would say a favourite one on the modelling side. I don't know. I built so many different ones from so many different SF movies. There's not one that stands out really. When looking at it in aesthetic wise, the Enterprise refit, the TOS Connie, the Eagle, pretty much with those three, almost no matter what angle that you're looking at them from, they never look bad.
Right.
Those are the three that stick out in my mind. There have been other designs that work for me. 2001 Moonbus is one of them. Let's see now. For looking like it can do what it's supposed to do, and as long as you ignore reality, the dropship and the APC from Aliens.
Right.
Sidney knew what he was doing when he designed those things. They are beautiful SF designs. They really are. So those are the ones that pretty much immediately come to mind. If I had longer and another cup of coffee, I could probably think of more. That's one of them.
I like that one too.
Yeah. Now, one thing that has to be borne in mind from this one. This was originally a resin monstrosity, which I first built and kitted back in 1997. What you see there is the remainder of the parts for the last build that was about 10 years ago. A lot of it on that is not accurate to the studio model, because strangely enough, I built all of that, and then after I finished doing that, then the Colonial Marines technical manual came out, which had me thinking, thanks very much, I could have done with this about 6 months ago. Too late. So certain things around the wrong way and not accurate to what it should be, but it was what it was. And at least it's one of those where I could say that was the last one I built where it had a full interior and lighting.
Oh, wow. That would be cool.
Yep.
Let's see.
One of those I've ever built.
Jan said Ian's tube work showed me how to do it. Lucky dog.
Well, obviously he made it work, so at least I'm not going to get the blame or the lawsuit. So that's fine by me.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one that you just mentioned. I love this one too. Good grief.
Oh, yeah. Yep, the Halcyon kit. Another awful kit to work with if you want to make it look any good.
Really?
Supposedly 1/72nd. I say it's 1/72nd that shrunk in the wash. It's more like 1/85th to 1/100th. Pretty much had to scratch build most of the weapon pods on the arms and had to put a bay inside it to take that APC, because that's how it's supposed to look.
Right.
So that one was an awful one. Oh yeah, and the lighting that I had to build into it as well. That was another amusing little turnout, where I had to use a stripped down rechargeable 9-volt battery, found a place to hide it, and then that powers all the fibre optics and the landing lights. Fun. The little APC, by the way, that was the Aoshima diecast that the guy gave me to go with it.
Oh, okay.
That one I put lighting in as well. Didn't have it, but I put it in. Oh yeah, figures that came out of a Hasegawa AH-1 Cobra helicopter kit, because it was the only kit I had at the time that actually had pilot figures in it, which were close. So they got pressed into service and nailed in there into a couple of resin ejector seats.
James Davis asked,
Oh, Jim.
have you ever finished your modified Diago Falcon yet?
No, mate, that is another one which is being held in the queue for the person that is buying that one on me. I got a D'Agostini Millennium Falcon part work, and I'm converting it to the New Hope version. But the guy who's having that off me, other things start taking precedence, so that starts getting shuffled backward in the queue. One day, Jim, I swear, I will get back to that one. Just don't ask me when, because I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I haven't been told yet.
Oh, there you go.
As soon as I'm told, then you'll know.
This looks like a fun little build. I'm not sure. Little mini Viper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Strangely enough, that was commissioned to me by the same guy who had the 44 Eagle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He just wanted one of those, so immediately he sent the kit directly to me. So I looked at it and already the brain started working, so I 3D printed clear cartoon-like thrust cones to go on the back of it. And when it came to doing it, I thought it needs a pilot. So looked online and found, strangely enough, a CG mess for George Jetson.
Ah, I was gonna say, it looks familiar.
Yeah. So I thought I don't need the rest of the body, but I do need the head. So I 3D printed the head, sculpted a flight helmet to go on it, cut out the bits of the canopy, put that in, and then put the flickering light in the engines, and just did decals for it and all the rest of it. That's one of those that when I finished and looked at it, it actually made me smile. So I thought, yeah, you'll do.
Yeah,
you'll do nicely.
That was a perfect pick for that. The pilot, man. That's
Yeah.
right on.
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, that'll do.
There he is.
That'll do. Yeah. Yeah. I like that one. I really do like that one.
So this is a kit.
Yeah. It's the Mobius kit. And note to anyone that should happen to try that one: the decals are bloody rubbish, but that stuff, the Vallejo flat red, is a colour match for it.
Let me put you up front.
Yeah. So that flat red matches the colour of those decals. So if you're going to paint it, this is the thing. Unless, of course, you just fancy doing your own colour red, in which carry on. But if you put the decals on and you have trouble, I found that stuff is good for touching up any misdemeanors on the decals on that thing, because they're incredibly thick and they don't conform very well at all.
Well, for you people out there watching, this is his science fiction gallery index, which is, if you go all the way to the top of the comments, I put the link so you can get to all this stuff and you can go through it yourself and just make sure you bring a bib so you can. It's pretty freaking nice.
I love to share the pain and the giggles around, and strangely enough, those builds that stretches from the late 80s right up to date.
EVA pod, that's another one. Jeez.
Yep, that's the old Atomic City resin kit. Horrible kit to deal with, but I do have the big Mobius one, because that one's about 1/12. It's only just over 6 inches tall.
Wow, looks bigger than that.
Hmm.
Yep, 6 3/4 tall.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I've got the bigger Mobius one. I'm going to get to work on that at some point. Promise. And if you
Promise.
believe that, there's some land in Florida I'd like to show you.
The figures, you guys got to go through these figures because it's amazing.
Yeah, that goes from the way back when to date as well.
Our old
Yeah,
hand
that's the old
solo.
AMC vinyl kit.
Yeah, I can't get over your detail. Pretty nifty.
That's what it's all about.
You've got
As
pages full of pages and pages of stuff.
Yep. I'll say that everything on my site spans from about the mid-80s right up to date of stuff that I've done for other people and for me.
James Davis says you're his mentor.
I thought he was about to say I was mental, and if that's what he was about to say, I'd say spot on, absolutely correct.
So this is the page. I'm going to send you. I'm going to copy it for everybody, and I'm going to post it on here, and you guys can go crazy.
Oh,
Go
enjoy
check
it.
it Yeah.
Enjoy it. That's what it's there for. Also to waste time, which is very good. Which I'm very good at.
Hey, I could waste time. I'll be going through these pictures for weeks. Watch.
Save it for the time if you're sitting there eating your dinner. It's a good way to pass it. Not going to say it's going to help with your digestion, but have a go.
There you go. Okay, anybody? Any last? Oh, somebody's already on it. Any last questions for Ian? Get this wrapped up so he can, because it's late. What is it? 7:30 your place?
Yeah, something like that. About 7:30, 8 o'clock, something or another. Oh, it's all right. I'll still be plodding along for about another 4 or 5 hours yet.
Yeah, I'm sure people can message you to get in touch with you, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, on Facebook or on the email address that's on the page.
Right on.
Yeah,
what is your how busy are you? I mean, what's your backlog like right now? If somebody wanted to have you build something for them,
probably good for, I would say, at least the next 3, maybe 4 years.
Oh, wow! Right on.
Well, if you go to my site and you look at the one where it's the work in progress, look at the commission list and you'll see what I've got. That's what I've got to do. And anything else that might creep in during, the times.
Holy smokes.
That's pretty much well, not exactly the same words, but the sentiment is there.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you got over 20 people. Star Wars Super Destroyer, Battlestar.
I think, you can split that between about 6 people.
Animated style Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Ooh. Wow.
And there are some on there that are just holding pages because I haven't got around to photographing any bits yet.
Right. Yeah, but this one's got the Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah.
That's
cool. That was a resin kit that somebody gave me to start building up for him. It's been hanging. It's almost finished. There's just some information I'm waiting on from the client before I can finish it off. But that's been built. I've added the lighting. I've worked all over it. The figure is pretty much painted. You have to scroll ahead, to some of the last pages. But pretty much it's all done in component form. I've now just got to take it to the point of doing all the final finishing that I can send it away. That's it's my mate Spike over in Canada who's having that one off of me.
Huh. That's a neat looking little kit.
It is. I've done the base for it, the Ring of Flames that you wanted.
The fire, right? The flames.
Yeah. I actually remodeled and completely recast that into one solid piece so the lighting could pass through it because he's got a solid painted skull, but those flames actually light up and flicker.
Oh, yeah, there is a skull in there. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it now.
Yeah, bit of work, but worth it.
Wow. Yes, you are quite the busy man.
Yep, and it ain't done yet. I mean, I wish there was more I could do, but sadly, it's just one pair of these and only 24 hours in a day.
So
Lord knows I could use more.
are you taking any commission work, or are you done after all these are done?
Uh, I might take the odd one here and there because things have a habit of changing. I
Right.
mean, there was somebody who wanted a 1/10 Battlestar Galactica Raptor, but that has now changed. So they said, skip that one. Can I have this instead? And I worked it out and said yes. So things can sometimes change. I might get someone who will drop out completely or change their mind on the model that they want. And I said, well, if you don't want that one, you can have that one. We'll put that one in its slot and, sort of like juggle a
Right.
great deal. But yeah, it would be one of those cases of depending on what it is and how I can fit it in to what I already have. So
Okay.
it's up to the person's concerned. But as a note to anybody that calls, as I said, this is my job. So when you pay, you're paying for everything that I do myself. So imagine that, whatever would come out of your paycheck to pay for everything in your life, that comes with me, that comes out of the money I get paid to do this. So cheap is not really an option. I have to be honest. So,
That's
fair
good.
warning.
Keith Mayfield said this site is brain cocaine.
I like that. Yeah, brain cocaine. Yeah, I actually do like that. I'm nothing personal. I'm stealing that phrase.
That's funny. Let's see. Is this somebody said? Daniel Bravo says, "Is this your main job? I mean, is this your
It's
second
my
job?"
only job.
It's his only job. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what he does to pay the bills. And we
Yep.
can see the lights and electricity and all that stuff still on. So he's doing it
Yep. So far.
so far. So far, so
Yeah.
good.
It hasn't gone dark yet. We're all good.
James must know you well. He says he's a busy
Mm.
man, but he's definitely mental.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, mate. I mean, never a truer word spoken.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to have you back because there's way too much to cover on one freaking show.
Yeah, certainly. I'll be happy to.
So I got a few things I want to show to the group, but you can hang around if you want, or you can take off and have I don't know, was it a cup of tea or?
Yes. I've just had that one, so I'm good to go for a little while until I need to refill.
Cool. Yeah, I just got to do some. I got the building contest. I wanted to show everybody a little bit of.
Oh yeah.
This is basically we took. Let's see, where am I? Gotta get back to my pictures. I want to start a poll for voting for these guys. Where is the contest? Thought I had it up already. I have a contest photo. Well, at least I thought I did. Anyway, we're gonna start voting. I'll post a. No, that's not it. Come on, man.
It's not working.
It went bye.
Yeah,
Technology is just fantastic when it works for you. Now it's working against me. Huh. Anyway, I do my best to keep everything nice and neat in this thing. And
Yeah, it's suddenly telling you otherwise.
yeah, well, there's the contest picture, but not the dang. All right, let's try this. But yeah, I want to start. Okay, here's a Daniel Bravo's. Whoa, where'd it go? What the heck is this thing doing?
I have no idea.
Man. How come I got two of these? All right. Okay, so let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. Oh, there it goes. Focus, focus.
Ooh.
Daniel Bravo. These were all out of the box builds for the old. I don't know. You call it Airfix, Fundimensions, MPC 12 inch.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, same kit. Always
Yeah.
tell by the shape of the spine.
So Daniel, I'm gonna post all these on the. Somebody just asked me a question. I don't know who it is. I'm gonna post all these in the group, and I'll have a poll that has each person's name. Vote for who you think is the winner of this each category.
Yeah,
You
cool.
can
I'll be
only
looking
vote
in on
once. Can't vote twice. Come on, people.
that.
I have that happen a lot of times.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Come on. It's all part of the concept. Be honest and play honest.
right. This is Scott Anderson Keys build,
Sharp little beastie.
and I'll post each photo by itself so you can look at it and check them all out and then vote on your favorite one.
Yeah,
Peter Hicks.
clean.
I just wanted to see what's the other way, Todd. See, there's a good picture of it. I think this is.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to
Yeah.
have a contest that just pull it out of the box and build it and make it yours.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, he's cleaned out the cages and put
Yeah.
depot in the water. It's nice.
Cleaning out those cages is not easy. Believe me, I've made
Yeah.
cuts.
I think I did it on years ago. I do mean years ago.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna just so everybody knows, I'm gonna post these pictures. Gonna do a poll, and you guys can vote for a week because I know not everybody's on every day like I am, and or I try to be, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, remember, gang, vote honest, but vote once.
Right. You can only vote for one build in each category, and this is kind of our banner that we used. Original Eagle Kit Contest, out of the box build or a total mod. So down here in this corner right here, you can see that's Michael. I know his name. That thing, I don't think there's one part of that kit left. He totally modified everything.
Yeah. I can see the spine's been redone, definitely.
So yeah, we just tried to use. We just wanted to see what people could do with these kits up here. We already know that if you get the new one, it's got all the goodies in it and everything like that. So I'll probably next have a 22-inch Eagle contest. We'll probably start that October. Give guys a fall build contest.
Sounds like a plan.
So a lot of work on this one. I wish I James. Let's say, hey, Todd is in the space and models page. Okay. I don't know what that means, but hey, I'm out there. So, everybody out there, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Please subscribe to my channel. It's going to help me get closer and closer to being able to monetize my channel, and anything that you guys think I can do better, shoot me an email or a message. I don't mind taking criticism. I'm just here to have fun, like the shirt. I bought this yesterday. Or no, I bought it tomorrow. There it is. I bought it tomorrow. I bought this t-shirt tomorrow. So, yeah, I just like to have some fun with everybody and meet new people. And Ian, you've been awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you hanging out with us today, tonight, whatever time it is everywhere else. I see a lot of people that know you, and I see a lot of people that didn't know you that now know you.
And it's your own fault.
That's right.
I accept no responsibility, ever.
They took it at their own risk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut this one off today, and if you didn't get to watch the whole thing, it'll be on my YouTube page, and I'm sure in most of these Facebook groups you'll be able to rewind and watch it again. See something that I have to rewind and watch it again, because a lot of times when you're talking and doing stuff, I'm over here trying to get the next picture ready. So I usually take it, put it on at work, and watch and listen to it while I'm working.
Yeah, all worthwhile. No, thanks all chimed in, and at least for all the questions and stuff. And I hope that you've enjoyed it.
Yes, I've enjoyed the day. I know these people have. We have a lot of interaction today. This is awesome. Probably
Good.
One of the best ones, right along with Bill George.
Oh yeah. I remember. I watched that one. And, Bill George is one of those when it comes, to film model making, up there somewhere.
Yeah. Dude.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ian. Thanks for joining us, and I'm gonna hit you up again later on and see where you're at on your builds. And
no problem at all, Todd. My pleasure, mate.
Maybe have you as a part of my team analyst to help with some. I'd like to get some, just like you did with the dry brush things.
Yeah.
Helping out people that want to build and learn these things. So.
Well, sort of like a modeling Ask Me Anything.
Right on.
Yeah. Up for that,
right.
Mate.
Take care. I appreciate all you fans out there. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Back to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Take care, Todd. Take care out there, everyone. Stay safe.
All righty. See you.
No.
Bye-bye.